one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
You find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face. Do not be troubled. Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity.
Welcome back. Another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Yo, how are we doing out there today? Hope everybody had a dope day, dope afternoon, dope night, whichever point in time you listen to this. Last night was one for the ages. Now listen, before we get into the last night, I do want to say this. Listen, because there's some people who I've been watching people since I done got from work. I've been watching a couple shows and whatnot of people talking about last night. And then I got on Twitter and I saw somebody tweet like, this the greatest night of women's basketball in the history of the sport, like WNBA or women or or college women's basketball. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far. I mean, I don't know, man. I think people live in the moment a lot on Twitter and say a lot of shit like that's in the moment. I don't know if I agree with that, but it was a hell of a night. It was a hell of a night. You have 4 elite players all battling each other. It was a phenomenal night. And then I saw a tweet that people wasn't happy where somebody said, like, this is what we talking about. Men don't hate women's sports. They just want to see matchups like last night. Now, I hate it when dudes get on Twitter and tweet shit like that, bro. Like, bro, don't say men. Say you. That is a you thing, bro. Say you only like watching women's sports when it's a matchup like last night. Because there's plenty of great women who have matched up against each other in the past. There's plenty of great women's programs that's done matched up in the past in college basketball and in WNBA. Now, my thing with college basketball is this. I done always been a bigger women's college basketball fan than men's basketball fan. I just done always liked women's basketball in the college sport more. I just think I don't know what it is. They just do a phenomenal job at marketing the women's side of it. And when it's like individual great, like college basketball for the men's side, to me, is not really dominated by individual great players. It's usually dominated by teams that's done been together for like 2-3 years. Like the North Carolina Tar Heels, like that's the team I root for. We done had great players like that I can name. Obviously, we done had Michael Jordan and whatnot, but like in the recent years, we ain't winning because we got one and done type of players. Most one and done players, like if they don't go to Duke or like the years of the Kentuckys where the one and dones was big names, like I just don't think we done had that in men's basketball in a long time for one. But even when we did, Kentucky wasn't like, I think Calipari got one title. So even with those great teams he had, they wasn't winning. So like, in my opinion, the great women WNBA player, not WNBA players, the great women college players usually win titles. Like the great women that I watch, Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Stewie, they won titles. You know what I'm saying? Angel Reese. I'm hoping Caitlin Clark can get her one so I can add her to the list. Like most of the great women who I watch in college sports, in college basketball, they win titles. Like Steph Curry moment was great, but he didn't end up winning a title off of that great run. It's the teams that usually, like Kemba had a great run and he won that championship that year, and Melo had his, but that was like, and I'm pretty sure somebody gonna be like, man, Saint, I can name all these different moments, but for me personally, I didn't never really look at it as, I didn't even watch Melo win that championship also. But I feel like I didn't always like college women's sport, basketball more. I definitely watch it more because I don't even watch, college basketball for the men's side, bro. I have not watched a full college men's basketball game since North Carolina won their last championship. We had Roy fucking Williams at the time, bro. So that should just tell you how long. Because the referees in college men's basketball is ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. When we lost that championship because they hit that big time three after Marcus Page hit his big three, I bring this shit up all the time, bro. Jordan's reaction was my reaction, bro. The referees, bro. And then in the next year when we won it, the referees again, I'm like, bro, the way they can dictate these games is crazy, bro. Like, put your whistle away, yo. Let these dudes play. They worked hard to get here. Stop dictating the game with all these calls. So I just don't enjoy men's basketball, college basketball. But I done always fucked with the women's basketball, bro. And maybe me watching it so much, cause I love watching Gino and coach up that UConn school. Now UConn, I had some thoughts, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is. I just done always fucked with the women's college basketball, bro. So maybe my bias towards college women's basketball is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Now, I'm not going to get on here and lie and tell you I watch the WNBA like that. Like, I don't watch nowhere near as much WNBA as I watch women's college basketball, bro. You know what I was thinking when I was watching the games last night, too? I was like, man, I pray that South Carolina don't fuck this up. Because South Carolina, we could have saw what we saw last night, all for it to culminate with South Carolina ended up winning the shit all at the end of the day anyways. Because I was like, we got these 4 studs, but South Carolina still got that motherfucker Dawn, boy. Like, they still got her at the end of the day. But to get into the games of last night, the Elite 8 for college women's basketball. And it was a joy. It was another one of those great nights, bro. I don't think it was the greatest night of all time in college women's basketball or in college or in women's basketball. But it was a hell of a night. Paige Buckers, Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Flau'jae Johnson, Haley Van Lith. Like, you had a lot of star level players on the court last night going head to head. And it was a joy to watch. The first game of the night was LSU taking on Iowa. for a chance to head to the Final Four. And last year when we saw this matchup, obviously, Caitlin Clark and Iowa lost to LSU. And I think LSU was the better team. I think this game did change. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But early on, it looked like LSU was finna storm their way to another big-time victory. And LSU is the better team. Like most people couldn't even name the second best player or even another player on the Iowa team. Because I ain't even going to hold you to second best player, because that can be tough to know or understand who is the second best player on the team. But what I will say is most people don't know the names of the other women or the other young ladies who play for the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I understand it. I'm not even gonna hold you, but LSU is the better team. You got a lot of great players, great coaching. Like LSU is the better team. But boy, did Caitlin Clark. This is why I love great players, bro. This is why I don't like it when people be rooting against great players, bro. It should be irritating. Like, why do you want to see great players not be great, yo? I don't get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people think because you love Steph, you can't love LeBron. Because you love LeBron, you can't love Steph. Like, I just love great players, bro. Now, you might like one more than the other, but it's no reason to disrespect one or the other because you like one of them. But Caitlin Clark was the best player on the floor last night. And that, boy, did that shine through. Now, a lot of people was going at Haley Van Lith last night on Twitter, like really going at her. And I hope she got like, I hate that people don't understand that these are still young adults at the end of, not even young. I mean, these still teenagers. We consider teenagers kids a lot of times. Like, these is still kids at the end of the day, yo. And people, the way people go at them is crazy. It's crazy. But a lot of people was going at Haley because of her defensive performance last night on Caitlin Clark. I think that's insane to go at her for a couple reasons. It's not like she was just out there not trying on defense. She was trying. She did everything she possibly could to try to stop Caitlin Clark. So that's my first problem. People act as if she just went out there and didn't try. Why am I getting mad at somebody for giving effort? Like, bro, it's a difference between not trying and just not being great. 2, that's Caitlin fucking Clark, bro. The best scorer in college history, I believe. She doing what she want to do. That's what the greats do. It ain't no answer for them sometimes. Most of the time. That's what make them great. And when Caitlin Clark came into that game from her performance last night, clearly she was in her bag. Clearly she said before that game in the mirror to herself, fuck that shit, I'm winning this. And she was winning that shit. Like, her game was full out Kobe, Steph, LeBron, Jordan, S. Like, she came to destroy last night. She said, I don't care if you're the better team. Because if I'm truly going to consider myself great, the greats of other sports beat superior teams. Kobe had to still find a way how to beat that Boston team. Steph had to figure out how to beat that Boston team. LeBron had to figure out how to beat that Warrior team. Like, the greats have to figure shit out. Jordan had to figure out how to beat those Celtics teams, those Pistons teams. The greats have to figure it out even when they undermanned. Even when the team on the opposing side is called the better team. And that's what Caitlin Clark did last night. Because she that level of player. She that level of great. And that's not taking nothing away from Haley Van Lith. I still believe Haley to be a great player. Caitlin Clark just a different animal. It just is what it is. And if you truly understand great players, then you understand the box that Caitlin Clark is in. She is in that box. Now, will she be in that box when she get to the WNBA? I believe so, but I don't know. I'm talking about right now. She's in that box with some of the greatest scorers and players at their craft and when they in those moments. Steph Curry in that finals against Boston was in his bag. LeBron James in the finals coming back from down 3-1 was in his bag. Michael Jordan going undefeated in the finals was in his bag, bro. Like, the greats figure it out. Pat Mahomes going up against the Eagles and the 49ers, 2 teams that was considered the better teams, and figured out how to beat both of them. That's what Caitlin Clark just did. All right. So I can't be mad at Haley for that. 3, when a player is giving that type of effort, when they're not cheating you effort-wise, and they still giving up the points because the other player is just in their bag, well, now it's on your coach. The coach got to figure out how to make some type of coaching adjustment to try to slow Caitlin Clark down. So because of those 3 reasons, I'm not finna get on here and kill Hailey Van Lith. Now, I do believe Hailey Van Lith played a part in them losing, but multiple people played a part. The part that Hailey Van Lith played was not defensively. It was the fact that she gave so much defensively that the rest of her game was affected. Now, I'm not a stat person. I say that all the time. But when you do look at the stats in this game, while Hailey didn't cheat you effort-wise, and while she did give effort defensively trying to slow down or stop Caitlin Clark, she didn't give you really but 1 assist, 1 rebound. Like, she gave her stat sheet was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Didn't score in double figures in the game. Just 9 points. So she didn't really contribute offensively. To me, you cannot see that she. So if you're the head coach, Kim, Miss Mulkey, when you looking at Hailey play and you seeing how the rest of her game is being affected because you making her defend, the game plan right now is for her to defend Caitlin Clark, and you see how the other parts of her game is being severely affected, I feel like you have to make a change. And at points late in this game, she put Flage on her. You should have done that earlier. It should have been a consistent rotation of different people trying to defend her because Hailey's game was so affected because of what you asked her to do on that night. So I can't kill Hailey, but if I'm going to tell, if it's something that killed her game last night that like contributed to them winning, it was that, not her defense. Also, Angel Reese, when she got hurt, it was just a different game after she got hurt. I mean, that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't lie. It was when she got hurt, it was a different game. But it's no excuses. I think the biggest reason LSU lost this game was 2 things. Caitlin Clark was in her bag last night. She was just in one of them zones. And also, LSU couldn't hit shots in the second half when they needed to hit shots. If they had to hit shots in the second half, this would have remained a close game. And who knows how this game would have went. But it was a point in that third quarter where they just could not hit shots. And Caitlin Clark was drilling them. Like deep 3. Damn near every shot she hit from 3 was a deep 3. Moving to the side 3s. Like, she was in her bag, boy. Like, she was on her shit last night. It was a beautiful thing to watch, bro. It really was. Watching the greats be great. It's just something great about it. You felt like she couldn't miss last night. And if she did, I wonder how would it be? Like, who was going to get her to miss it? How would they get her to miss it? Like, what would they do? Run her off of a screen or something, like double team her? And not only was she scoring, it was a couple things that made Caitlin Clark so great last night. And when you are such a great player, when you held to the standard that we hold Caitlin Clark to, because we look at her the way we do, when you win this type of game, it's certain things you got to do. And Caitlin Clark is the type of player who can do them. This is why I don't like it when people say the only thing Caitlin Clark can do is score. I don't like that because it's a lot of different things that Caitlin Clark do great. But one of the biggest things she do great is assist the ball. She get her other teammates involved. It's not even that she get them involved as much as she found ways to get them buckets, to get them easy buckets. She had 12 assists last night. Mind you, Caitlin Clark did a little bit of everything last night because she had 7 rebounds. Like, she played 40 fucking minutes, bro. 40 minutes, 7 boards, 12 assists, 2 steals, a block, 41 fucking points. She filled up the stat sheets. It was a shot last night where she went in on Angel Reese late in the game, missed a shot, got the rebound. Eventually they got a score from it, bro. That's called effort. She put in there. So she not cheating you with her effort. She came to score. She came to get her teammates involved because she got 12 points. Not involved necessarily, but came to get them buckets. She said, it's not enough for me to get them involved. I have to figure out ways to get them points. She had 2 teammates And only other two teammates gave her double-digit points, but it was enough because they gave her 21 points from Kate Martin, and Sydney Alfter gave her 16 points. I don't know how to pronounce Sydney's last name, so I apologize, Sydney, but she gave her 16 points. That's all Caitlin needed. She said, I'll get the rest of them. She said, because I need a third teammate to get me 20-something points. That's what you usually would need. She said, I don't need that. I'm going to get that 20 for you. I'm going to get 41. So she said, I'm going to get my 20 and your 20. And that's how we going to rock. She said, I'm going to pick 7 rebounds up for you. Nobody on her team really had a great rebound tonight aside from her. When you are great, when you are playing against a team that is better than your team, this is the type of game you have to win those type of games. When Giannis Antetokounmpo played in that finals against the Suns, we all thought the Suns were the better team. Look at his stat sheets and everything he did in that game to get the advantage in different ways to win that series. That's what Caitlin Clark just did. She had to look at how they lost last year and say, I have to do more. It's not enough for me to just score. She had 30 last year. It wasn't a great game. She said, I got to do more, and it can't just be scoring, but my scoring can't falter when I'm doing, my scoring can't falter even though I'm trying to pick up in these other areas also to help my team. Caitlin Clark was phenomenal last night. It was a Kobe Bryant type of performance in the sense that she the best player on her team, and she not only brought the scoring load, carried the scoring load, but she carried it in so many other areas to help a team that's lesser than get over the hump. I enjoyed every single bit of it. It was a phenomenal performance, and I cannot wait till the next round when we talk about who she will play next. Now, something I want to talk about after this game. And congratulations to Iowa on moving on to the Final Four. And congratulations to LSU on a great year. I hope that all those women for LSU come back next year to run this shit back. Because imagine if they play for a third year in a row against Iowa in a rubber match. Oh, my God. And imagine Iowa go on to win it all this year. And they meet next year knowing that the first year Iowa lost and LSU won a championship. The second year, LSU lost. Iowa won a championship. Oh, my God. The money. The money would be insane for that. Those women would make so much. Those young ladies would make so much money. So much money. But I want to talk about something real quick. Because after the game, Angel Reese did her interview. And she was crying at the podium talking about how people need to remember how she's still human. And the hate that she get and stuff like that is unwarranted. Basically all the stuff I say about athletes all the time. And there's been a big crowd like Shady McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, who obviously, I think is a clown. People on Twitter, people in comment sections talking about, oh no, when you play that bad guy role, when you embrace it, you can't cry after you lose and yada, yada, yada. Bro, Angel Reese is still basically a kid in a lot of people's mind, but a young adult nonetheless. I can't even remember if Angel Reese is even old enough to buy alcohol yet. Just because she has more money than most people her age, just because she do better in life than most people older than her, don't mean that she should be held to some crazy standard, bro. Or it should not be forgotten that she's still a child at the end of the day, or still is a young adult with a young mind, still growing, bro, still maturing. I don't understand how people keep forgetting that when we're dealing with these college kids, bro. It's insane to me. It's really insane. You wouldn't do your kids like this. You would not like somebody talking to y'all kids like this. You wouldn't like, and if your kid broke down, you would not then say, well, you know what? You shouldn't have been. You wouldn't. But for some reason, people on Twitter, people in comment sections love to say, no, I would have told my kid you shouldn't have never did. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. Especially when Angel Reese did not ask to play the villain. She was labeled that. Now, we already know about the racist articles and things like that was said about her. We already know about those. Even though people like to still believe that race has nothing to do with it. But Angel Reese did nothing that Caitlin Clark and other great WNBA players and college women players and college men players and NBA players and football players and athletes of all kinds have done in the past. But for some reason, she was labeled a bad guy because she did it to somebody who white America loved. So a large portion of the white media and a lot of doofuses in the black media began to call her a villain. LSU is a bunch of villains. Do you think that would have happened if that was a team full of white women? Because Caitlin Clark was running around taunting people last year, saying that you can't see me, and we celebrated it. But then when it was done to her, Angel Reese was a villain all of a sudden. Is that Angel Reese being a villain, or is that Angel Reese being a competitor? Because it was being competitive and passion when Caitlin Clark was doing it to her opposition. But when Angel Reese did it to the person you cheered for, now Angel Reese the villain. And you say that's the role she chose to play. Once again, these athletes do not create narratives. The media does that. The fans do that. The athlete's just out there playing. Angel Reese done said multiple times she has no personal issues with Caitlin Clark. It's just competition. She liked Caitlin Clark. And she wished nothing but the best for Caitlin Clark and her success. Some reason people keep trying to paint it as people, they don't like each other. Just because fans? I mean, how crazy is that? So, I think it's buffoonish. I think it's goofy. I think it's laughable that all these people got something crazy to say about Angel Reese. Just because she did a "you can't see me." Bro, these is kids, bro. And then I'm seeing people say, bro, well, you should have known this could have happened when you embraced this role. Bruh. I saw Draymond and Dylan Brooks say they never wanted to be the bad guy. That's just the role they was given. So they had to embrace it. Both of them said it's hard being the bad guy because fans and the narratives that is created about them. If that's two grown men who said that, can you imagine how a young adult who is still maturing, can you imagine how she feel about that? And then when it all became too overwhelming, she broke down and cried. But to Shady and Acho, oh, you can't sit there and cry. That's crazy to me. Joy gave a phenomenal response, but I just think to feel the way Acho and the fans and Shady and James Jones felt about that is crazy to me. Because you're not telling your daughter that if she in the same situation as Angel Reese, you just not. Especially when you know that this was created, the narrative of her being a villain was created by the media. It's insane to me. But, you know, I hope Angel... I understand it's the type of thing that can cause mental health issues. So I hope Angel Reese got strong people in her corner. I know she got some strong soldiers in her corner. And I hope they help her get through this. Because I hate seeing Angel Reese up there crying. And I know how it is to lose. I done seen Aaron Donald cry. I done seen the greats cry. Cam Newton, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kobe. We done seen all the Jordan. But those is also adults who, you know, even they struggle to get through it. But Angel Reese is still so young, bro. And people expect her to have a mind of a 30-year-old at this point. They want her to skip all those steps that all human beings have to go through when they're growing up, becoming an adult. But, you know, what do I know? But then we get to the second game of the night. USC, Connecticut. All they kept saying on commentary last night was, man, it's so amazing that Connecticut got here. UConn started the season the way they started the season. And worst start to a season in team history. And they here right now. All right, bro, we get it. We get it. Yo, last night and today, I done seen a lot of people, and I done watched a lot of people say that they didn't enjoy the second game as much as the first one. And I think it's because of all the narratives that was created for the first game. And this just show you how the society drive off of hatred and shit like that because of the the negative narratives that was created for that first game. People was more in tune with that first one because it wasn't no animosity in the second one. People was like, oh, well, you know, it was a great game. It was a good game, but it wasn't. Bro, this game was competitive damn near all the way through up to the end. Like, what are you talking about? At the end of the game is when clutch shots started getting hit when UConn started to pull away. But this was a great game. I don't know what people talking about this. Or maybe I'm just a weirdo, bro. Maybe I just overly enjoy stuff because I thought this was a great game. Paige Buckers and Juju Watkins going at it, bro, hitting big shots. They said on commentary last night or at the halftime that Juju play like she trained with dudes because her game is very reminiscent of like a dude's game. I agree 100%, bro. I think her and Paige Buckers got like NBA form. Like, that's what I like about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, Juju, and Paige Buckers. They don't shoot like we've seen most women shoot the ball. They kind of shoot just like men, like Sabrina. Like we see women the newer women, the younger women in today's games. They shoot the ball pretty much like the dudes. They got nice forms. It ain't like crazy forms and stuff like that. So I like Paige's and Juju's jump shots, bro. Like they offensive games is cold. That's what made last night so great. LSU don't really have the elite one-on-one type score that USC, Connecticut, and Iowa have. And Juju, Juju, Caitlin, and Buckers. But LSU is great for other reasons. Plus, they have Angel Reese. To see Juju and to see Paige go at it. Not to mention, Paige hit some clutch buckets, bro. Like, towards the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, Paige, bro, she hit this 1-3 with a body all over, rolling to the left, drained it, came back down. Before she hit that shot, she hit a tough turnaround on the right side corner, like just some clutch back, bro, just big time shot making, bro. Juju is a fucking freshman. Like, I just wanted people to remember that. Like, Juju is a freshman. And she's carrying USC the way she carrying her with the way she score. Like, mind you, this wasn't even Juju's best scoring performance, and they almost had a chance at winning this game. Like, just elite level scoring, shot making, bro. Like, I might have enjoyed this second game more than the first one. Maybe that's why I'm offended that everybody talking about this second one wasn't a good game, because everybody talking about they love scoring. You had two elite shot making players in this game, bro. Look, in the second game, Paige and Juju did multiple things for their teams. I don't get it. Listen, Paige, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 28 points. What are you talking about right now, bro? If a dude in the NBA had that game you talking about, bro, that's an elite game, bro. Like, that's a player of the night type of game. If a player had that type of game every day for a whole week, bro, he having player of the week honors. Like, what are we talking about right now? Juju, 10 boards, 29 points. What are we talking about right now? 2 elite shot makers, bro. 2 elite scorers, bro. Doing other things for their teams, bro. What are we talking about? Last night wasn't the good game in the second one. It was just good. It wasn't really that. What are we doing? Elite shot making, bro. So UConn won 80-73, and it was some big time baskets and weird free throw misses last night for UConn at the end of that game. But when that game was still competitive and still in the clutch for most of it, back and forth, both teams going on runs, both teams getting big stops and hitting shot. Like, to me, and one of the things that really helped UConn, both teams really, because it was others that pitched in, like Raya Marshall, she had 11 boards and 11 points. That's a big time game in my opinion. Mackenzie Forbes, 24 points for USC. Both of those players play for USC. And then for Connecticut, You got Aaliyah Edwards, who had 24.6 boards. She was balling. Nika Mule, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, a block, 8 points. Like, bro, so many people filling up the stat sheets with so many big time. That's one thing that I will say. You were not cheated when it came to effort last night. I mean, my goodness. So many women played so hard. They wanted it so much. I think it was great coaching last night from Gino Auriemma, too. It was just points in the game where you needed to coach up your women and have them in a position to get an easy bucket. And he kept coming through for them. And not to mention, I just think when you look at these games and you look at, because Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Juju, and Paige, they all 4 the leaders. You could tell like they leaders for their teams. And Flau'jae too, honestly. Just unbelievable leaders, bro. Like you wouldn't rather have you could look at every single one of them and say, I would not rather be led by another woman in this sport. Like that's how great I think all 4 of them or 5 of them are at leading their teams, bro. Just so much passion, so much energy, bro. Just, oh my goodness. It was a great night. It was such a great night. And with that win by Connecticut, and shout out to Juju Watkins and her squad at USC on a phenomenal season. Getting USC to places they ain't been in years since Cheryl Miller, Reggie Miller's sister, older sister. My mama always talking about her. My mama watched her play. But with that, Connecticut and Paige Beckers is headed to the Elite Final Four to take on Iowa and Caitlin motherfucking Clark. What a game. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game because, Gino, you got your hands full. How do you... Now, I do think, Gino, it's going to be real interesting because Caitlin Clark just did this against a coach in Kim Mulkey, who was a great coach. I don't think she's better than Gino, but it's going to be interesting, Gino's game plan going into this game to see who does he employ on Caitlin Clark and how does he employ them and how many different ways is he going to find ways to try to stop Caitlin Clark or slow her down? Because I just can't see him... Like, he didn't let Juju go off in this game. Juju had a great game, but he didn't let her go crazy. So I'm interested to see, and obviously Caitlin Clark is the better player. But Juju, like I said, again, is a freshman. I'm very interested to see how Caitlin Clark is defended in this game. But one thing that I do know is that Paige and Caitlin gonna show up. Because that's what they do. I'm gonna be real irritated because my brother asked, basically saying like this could all just be setting up for either one of them to lose against South Carolina. That is a very real possibility, bro. A very real irritating possibility. So I pray that does not happen, bro. I don't want that to happen. Nobody wants that to happen, bro. We want to see either Paige or Caitlin Clark. Most people want to see Caitlin Clark get it done. I have no problem seeing either of the two get them done. I do lean in the Caitlin Clark corner for the simple reason legacy. But Paige is a great player in her own right. And if you go on Twitter, there's a lot of people who think that she's the best player in college basketball right now, not Caitlin Clark. So, different strokes for different folks. Nonetheless, shout out to these women. What a night. What a night. With that being said, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. And remember, these young ladies are still young adults, still maturing. Stop sending the hate their way, yo. Jesus. Grown-ass adults, yo. It's crazy. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate you. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.